Good morning children, I am your social teacher. Today we are going to learn the new lesson, that is 5th lesson, the Northern Plains. So what is the lesson name? The Northern Plains. So here the Northern Plains, where it is situated or located, the Northern Plains are situated to the south of the Northern Mountains. Where it lies, Manna? It lies to the south side of Northern Mountains. Here, which one is called as Northern Mountains? Himalayas. So that means it is south of the Himalayas or the Northern Mountains. And from where to where this Northern Plains are stretched or spreaded? The Northern Plains are stretched from Punjab in the north to the Assam in the east. From where to where? Punjab in the north side to Assam in the east. Up to that, the Northern Plains are stretched. The Northern Plains are stretched. Okay, children. And what are this plains? We will also call it as Indo-Gangetic Plains. So what we will call these Northern Plains? Indo-Gangetic Plains or Great Plains of India. So what we will call Indo-Gangetic Plains or the Great Plains of India. Why we are calling this plains as the Great Plains of India? So why means here more population or majority of the people lives in this Northern Plains. Why means the plains are fertile and here we can grow many crops. The plains are the major reason for this more population is the plains are more fertile. So the soil, whatever the soil is there in the northern plains are very fertile, very good soil. So that's why many people are living there. So majority of the population will be there in the northern plains. So because of that reason, it is called as Indo-Gangetic Plains or the Great Plains of India. Okay, children. So here, the northern plains have been formed majorly with 3 rivers. What are those 3 rivers to form this northern plains? One is Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. And the tributaries of these rivers are also reason for the formation of the northern mountains. So, what are the rivers that are the reason for the formation of the northern plains? Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra and their tributaries. And their tributaries are also reason for the formation of the northern plains. What is meant with tributaries? Tributaries means the small rivers which will come and join in the main river. The small rivers which will come and join in the main rivers. So those are called as tributaries. And what this tributaries and rivers will bring? So these rivers and will also and tributaries or consider the rivers and tributaries. These rivers will bring minerals, rocks and silt. What these rivers will bring? These rivers will bring minerals, rocks and silt and from the mountains. So from where it will bring? From the mountains. When floods are flowing, when heavy rainfalls are there, at that time these rivers will, so the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers will bring them minerals, small rocky particles and silt from the mountains, and these are deposited from the banks of the banks. So where it will deposit? It will deposit in front on the banks or on the banks. Where it will deposit on the banks. So what is meant with banks now? So banks means is meant by banks? Banks means the sides of the rivers and the land near it. Banks means the sides of the river and the land near to the river. The sides of the river or land near to the river is called as bank. So deposits on their banks. So these three rivers will deposit on their banks. So banks means the sides of the river, the area to the sides of the river, a land near to the river is called as banks. So that it is going to deposit this minerals, small rocky particles and silt. Silt means the smooth mud now. So in this smooth mud is brought from the mountains. Very smooth mud. So the silt is very fertile soil. The silt is very fertile soil. That means very good soil. So where we can get the good crops. So if the soil is silt, we will get the more crops. Okay. So that is about the silt and bank. Okay, children. So we said that these rivers will deposit the minerals, small rocky particles and silt on the banks. So this soil is called as alluvial soil. This soil is called as alluvial soil. So these rivers will also bring the dry leaves and the dry clay and the smooth mud, rocky particles, small rocky particles. So these are all combinedly called as alluvial soil. What we will call it? Alluvial soil. This is the fertile soil in the world. This is the alluvial soil is the number one soil or the best soil in the world. Okay, children. So here the northern plains consist of three basins. Three basins. So what is meant by basin now? So basin means the area watered by the river. So which area is watered by the river, that area is called as basin of that particular river. So basin means the area watered by the river is called as basin, and its tributaries also. So both the rivers and tributaries will contribute water to some area of land. That area or land is called as basin. So the northern plains are divided into three basins. One is Indus Basin, Ganga Basin and Brahmaputra Basin. So what are the basins? Indus Basin, Ganga Basin and Brahmaputra Basin. So Indus Basin. So first let us know about the Indus Basin. So Indus Basin is formed by the river Indus and its tributaries. So what is meant by tributaries? Tributaries are the small rivers which will join in the main river. So Indus is the main river and its tributaries are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. So these are the tributaries to the Indus Basin, and the main river is Indus. And whereas the Satluj river contributes water to the Punjab and Haryana. So the Satluj contributes majority of its water to Punjab and Haryana states. And in this Punjab and Haryana states, what type of crops are grown here? So here they will grow the crops like cotton, wheat, rice, oil seeds, barley, sugarcane. So these are the crops grown in the Punjab and Haryana. So what is the next one? Ganga Basin. So what is meant by basin? Basin means the area watered by the rivers are called as basin. So here, what are the main river for this Ganga Basin? Ganga river is the main river and its tributaries are Gandak, Chambal, Gomati, Kosi, and one more is Ghagara. So that is also one of the Gandak, Chambal, Gomati, Kosi, and Ghagara. So these are the tributaries to the Ganga basin. Okay, children. And so this Ganga basin mainly it covers the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. So it covers Ganga river and its tributaries cover the states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. So when river Ganga reaches to West Bengal, it divides into several branches. When the Ganga river reaches to West Bengal, it divides into number of branches. So in these branches, there are two major or important branches are there. So what are those two important or major branches? Names here Hooghly and Padma rivers. So what are the main branches of this Ganga river? Hooghly and Padma river. So where it is divided into number of branches, when it reaches to the West Bengal, it divides into number of branches. So the major identified, the major branches are Hooghly and Padma rivers. Okay, children. And so this Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers forms the major delta in our country. So in the whole world as well. So if, this one forms one of the largest delta in the world. So which two rivers are forming the larger delta? Ganga and Brahmaputra. So these are forming the major delta. So what this delta is called? This delta is called as Sundarbans delta. What it is called? Sundarbans delta. So this is the largest delta in the world. So which is formed by Ganga and Brahmaputra basin. Okay, children. So what crops are grown here in the Ganga basin? Here the crops are like cotton, wheat. Cotton is not that. Sugarcane, rice, jute, wheat, and millets. Wheat, rice, jute, millets, sugarcane. These are grown in the Ganga basin. Okay, children. So this is about the two basins, Indus basin and Ganga basin, Brahmaputra basin. So this basin we will discuss in the next class, children. Okay, children. Bye. Read up to this.